Kayla, ordering chaos.
Hey there guys, this is PsychoticKid here, and I'm coming at you for the very first time. Today I will be going over the healer talent tree. First off, I get universal balance for the 5% spell haste. And out of all of these talents in this row, I prefer the Darkened Stars, decreasing the mana cost of stars aligned when I actually decide to DPS while I'm healing. I know, that sounds crazy, but I do it just because. Now, out of this row, there is a shield you can receive when your health drops below 30%, or you can get the shield whenever you crit a Celestial Light or Galactic Halo. You can also receive an extra 12% critical chance. Personally, I prefer the Neutron Blast. This will give me an extra shield whenever I actually do a critical. It's pretty nice to use on the tank or other members in the party. Now, as a healer, I prefer Planetary Alignment, 25% chance to trigger my next spell with no casting time and no mana cost. This is very, very nice. Now, if you're dual healing for whatever reason, this spell, it says it gives 12% health restoration. In actuality, it gives 12% health received. So if you're dual healing, you can have one with this and maybe one with Planetary Alignment. That's up to you. I will let you decide. Now, for the next row, there's Shadowy Figure, Galactic Rays, and Rainbow's Gravity. Rainbow's Gravity actually reduces the healing amount of your White Dwarf Unchained, and this will increase the healing amount that they receive during the time that White Dwarf Unchained is active. Now, I actually prefer this. And for the next tree, this is a DPS talent, and these two are for healing. Now, you can either have a 25% chance on your Galactic Halo or Celestial Light to decrease the duration of the weakness debuff by 10 seconds, or you can get the AoE shield. I prefer the AoE shield. This can be useful in some situations, maybe like the horse in SRL. Alright, so that is my healer talent tree. Now let me just go over my sidebar, and then I will go over my gear. I do not know if maybe you do your talent tree differently. You could let me know. And maybe you do your sidebar differently. So that is my sidebar right there. And this is the gear that I use. Since the update, I actually use 3 Chasm, the VTL set, and a Dazzling Spell Haste chest piece. Now, I actually have 27% spell haste with this setup, and I have no spell haste gems, so I do not use 2 dazzling spell haste when I previously did, because I can reach the 24% spell haste that I desire. At 24% spell haste, you get an extra tick on your White Dwarf Unchained. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Compared to well, let me take that buff off so I can show you. Alright, so now I'm at 20%. 1, 2, and 3. So that gives you 3 ticks if you are less than 24%. There is a 5th tick at around 50%. However, this is not desired, as this is the main thing that it affects, is the White Dwarf Unchained. It gives you an extra tick, yes, however, it does not affect the other spells very much. So in my case, I believe that it's best to go for the 24% spell haste and dump the rest into critical. Now, I will go over with you the DPS talent tree and gear. So now we will respec. First off, I prefer the 5% spell haste ratio. And then next, I like the decreased mana cost of Stars Aligned. I prefer the shield when your health drops below 30%. This armor in this next row is actually not that useful. It gives you about 10% of your armor, and as a mage you have so little armor it gives you about maybe 200. It's not that useful. Now you can either choose between 12% healing received for your teammates, an extra 12% healing received, or if you decide to cast a healing spell here and there, maybe you'll get a chance to just have an instant cast on your next spell. It's really up to you. And then the next one, the next tree, I prefer having the chance to resist a stun condition by 15%. You can also go with this if you're not healing at all, since you're not healing at all. And then for the last row, I like the 25% critical and haste ratio. You could also go with the AoE shield. It's really up to you. This is what I use personally. Alright, now I will go over the sidebar. Again, you may not use this sidebar. I'm sure everyone's is different. However, this is what I use personally. Alright, now I will go over my gear. I use 2 Kylin, 2 Chasm, and the VTL set. In this current gear, here are my stats. This is my stats with just 24-hour buffs. Alright, and thank you guys for watching. This has been PsychoticKid, and I hope you enjoy.